Well, welcome back to the Boondocks Homestead, y'all. I'm glad you're back. And if this is your first time to our channel, I'm so glad you're here. Well, like I told you yesterday, today I decided I hadn't decided yesterday on the okra video if I was going to do tomatoes or can some of our rabbit. But I have decided to do the rabbit because it needs to be done, and I don't think I'm going to have time because I got my walk in this morning and I don't think I'm going to have time to do both. So I'm probably going to do the tomatoes tomorrow. So if you want to know how to make rotel, you come on back tomorrow. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in the pressure canner. It's about a little over 2 quarts of warm water. And I'm cold packing this meat though, okay? So now I don't know if I told you, I'm pretty sure I did tell you all that, got my bottle of water here, that anymore you don't have to sterilize your jars before you pressure can. Now if you're going to hot water bath, you need to sterilize your jars, okay? Because the heat doesn't get up high enough to kill any bacteria or microorganisms or whatever, okay? So I'm not going to sterilize these because they're going to be underneath 10 pounds of pressure for about 90 minutes, okay? Now, normally, you all, I would have grabbed all largemouth for this because I'm putting meat in here. But I didn't, and I just grabbed what I could find and grab and was easy, and so I've got 3 that aren't. So that'll just show you that it is possible to use these smallmouth. I use them both just about the same. It doesn't really matter to me which one. So okay, so what we're going to do is, now I'm not going to add salt. This is in salt water. This meat is in salt water and has been for a couple days since we butchered them. But I'm not putting salt in here, okay? When I make my stuff out of the jars that I put them in, that's when I season them most of the time, unless it's like soup or stew or chili or something, you know, that I've got to put that stuff in. But anyways, we'll start, we'll use the big jars first, and then we'll go to the little jars. How's that? I don't know how much I can get in a jar. This is my first time not canning meat. I can meat all the time, but this is my first time canning rabbit, okay? And when we decided to raise rabbits and to have them for food, because that's what we do out on the homestead, that's what we do, okay? Not all of our food comes from store. All the food, though, does come from a farm or, well, in some cases, places that aren't so nice that raise these animals in not great conditions, okay? We all know that. Ours are very well taken care of. We know what they eat. We know how we take care of them, and it makes it all the better, okay? Because we know what's in this. So I'm going to start out with a couple of legs, I think. These are really cold, so I'm going to have to put them in this after I put them in the jar. I'm going to set them in here and slowly bring the temperature of them up, okay? Because I don't want to break my jars. Yeah, I was worried about these legs are really big. These are the back legs, and I was worried about that bone going down in there. If it would go down below my, you know, where I need to have it, the level. But I think it's going to be just fine. So I got 2 back legs. I'm going to put 2 front legs. Maybe I'm not. I'm not going to be able to get a whole rabbit in a jar. There's no way. There's just no way. So I got 2 back legs, 2 front legs, and it looks like that's all I'm going to get in there. He always leaves those pieces on the sides of the back, like they're on the sides of the back of the rabbit, and he always leaves those little pieces in it, so I cut them off. So we'll put 2 of those in there. And I'm just picking this off a little bit because I'm finding a few little spots on it that don't need to be in my jar. Okay? Make sure it's clean before you put it in there. There's another little spot. All right. So we've got 4 legs and 2 back pieces. Now this one, and that's all I can fit in there. Let me get you down here where you can see. What am I doing? Okay. So you can see that is just stuffed full. I mean, there's a little room in there, but I just don't think I can fit. You know, I might be able to. Let's just check it out. We can always pull it back. That's a big piece there, though. I don't want to. We'll put these back pieces down in there. I don't want to put so much in here. I hate to, that we can't eat it all, you know. But I got to have these big jars for this. Let's see if I can get a leg in here. I think so. We're just going to have to. It's just the way it's going to have to be. There we go. Okay. All right. I really don't want to put these in there because I'm afraid the bones. But we're not going to waste anything. We're putting it in. That's the ribs. We're just going to put it in. Like I said, this is my first time stuffing jars with rabbit. I usually do chicken, turkey, deer. Now that worked out pretty good. Let's see if we can put this big old leg in there. I'm really going to have to clean my jars before I... You guys are probably out there watching this laughing at me, aren't you? You're probably like, that silly old lady stuffing them jars with... Hey, here's 2 more back pieces. Oh, this one's pretty dirty. That water is so cold. I'm probably going to have to let this kind of come to room temperature a little bit before I even do it. Okay, here we go to the small jars. Hold on, my hands are freezing. Woo, they're freezing. I got a mess. And I sanitize all this, and you would want to. Anytime you're working with meat anywhere, you make sure you sanitize it. Okay, uh-oh, this might be an issue. Now, see, it's not going to be bad getting it out because after these pressure can, they're going to just fall apart pretty much. Okay. Ooh, my hands. I never thought I'd get this much out of it. I don't know why. I was thinking, you all, that I was just going to be able to put 1 rabbit in each jar. I don't even know why I was thinking that. See, that wasn't too bad. And I mean, there's going to be some room in here, but it's okay because it's going to make like a broth too in here while we're doing it. So, it's going to work. It's going to work. I like rabbit. I don't like wild rabbit, but I like to eat tame rabbit. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I just like the taste of it. I don't like the taste of wild rabbit. I mean, I would eat it if I had to. Don't get me wrong. I would. And I cook it. I just prefer this. But if I had to, I'd do it. Okay, I'm going to crunch him up a little bit. Try to get this one. See that little spot there? Try to get this one in here. Okay. Okay. That's as good as it's going to get right there. That's all I got left. Okay. I'm going to do this one, get it in a jar, and I'll be right back with y'all. I'm going to make some broth out of these backs, or ribs. Okay. And it's going to be good. So I got 4 ribs there we're going to make broth out of. So I went ahead and I wiped my rims with vinegar. Don't forget to do that. You need to do that because that fat and stuff on those rabbits, you wouldn't think there's a lot there, it would matter, but it does. It does. So make sure that you clean it off with vinegar around your jars. I debubbled. I added, if you've got enough meat to go all the way up to about a little over an inch or inch and a half, you're fine. Mine didn't. Mine didn't reach that far. So I added some water to it, up to that space, okay? Because that space needs to be filled. So I went ahead and did that. I'm going to go ahead and put the rings on, and we're going to put them on finger tight, like always. You all know that, okay? And I ended up just having one smallmouth jar. I'm going to have to get some more rings. Hold on just a minute. So I got 3 or 4 big mouth and 1 smallmouth. So I'm cold packing these, so I got to bring the temperature up slow. I got cold jars, cold meat, and my canner cold, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put these in. I did not put salt in mine because, like I said, I season everything when I bring it out of the jar. All right, if you want to put salt in it, you put a teaspoon of salt in it. Won't hurt nothing. You all check for your canner what it takes, okay? Mine takes 2 quarts, and I put a little bit more than 2 quarts over it, all right? Or in it, I'm sorry, of water. Well, this will be better anyways, because I don't really like them touching a whole lot, because they get to rocking and a rolling, like I've told you before. And I had busted jars in here before. Now I'm going to put a little bit of vinegar in there. Just keep your jars clean. Okay. Check your lids. Check your lids. Make sure that the rubber around it is good. There's no cracks or frays or tears in that piece. Okay. Then you're going to look through your hole. Make sure there's no obstructions. Hold it up to the light and just look through it. Okay. And just look your lid over real good. I always tell you guys to do that. You can be safe. All right. And I always have I've got like 3 pressure canners, so I'm like lost every time I grab one. Okay, so I'm going to put this on like a medium heat. And like I said, I'm going to bring the temperature up slow because I cold packed this meat. And I don't want to break my jars. So we'll bring it up, and then I'll, after it gets pretty warm, I'll pump it up on high, and we'll steam this for 10 minutes, right? And then after 10 minutes of steady steam out of here, then we're going to put our weight on. And then we're going to wait until it jiggles for 10 minutes, remember? And on this particular canner, it could be different on yours. I've got 2 others, and it's different on those a little bit. I still have to steam. I have to vent it. And I still do it, wait for it to rock and all that. And then I count down after it starts rocking. But every pressure canner could be different. So you really need to go by your manual of yours, okay? And don't go by what I say, because you may not have the same pressure canner, and they're different with different instructions, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get this going, and I'm going to go ahead. I think I've got time. I'm going to start some broth in that, and then when I get home this evening maybe, or maybe tomorrow, I'll go ahead and can that broth and get that done. I think that'll be really good. So I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, I got them done before I went to get on the bus, but I just got home and it's like 3.5 hours later. Anyway, so this is all done. I should have took that off first, but I knew that this was cooled down already. And always away from your face, right? Let's see what we got going. Well, we got a busted jar. Now, before I even touch this, I'm going to show you what this looks like. All right, I'm going to take these other ones out and get them out of the way. That looks good. I thought I heard this pop while it was boiling. I thought I heard it. I hope it's not the one with all the backs in it, because that's Tim's favorite pieces, y'all. Nope, it's not. Just got a couple of legs. See that? Let me throw this away. Now, you might be asking, well, what if there was glass in there, and when it busted, did it get in these jars? No, it did not. These jars are okay. They're okay. So I've never had a problem with that. And I have busted many jars in this pressure canner throughout my time canning. And I've been canning for quite a while. So no, I don't ever worry about that. If it's, because usually it does what it did right there. It's a clean break, and it's not like there's a bunch of little glass floating around in there or nothing. It's just a clean break. It breaks, and I throw that away, and then I put this up for later. So this really turned out good, I think. It's going to taste good. That's going to be good. We got it done, and I've got the broth going over at the house, and I'm going to can it tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and finish doing it tonight, and then I'm going to put it up in the refrigerator, bring it out tomorrow, heat it up again, and then I'm going to can it. And it smells amazing. I'm probably going to make some dumplings out of that. It smells amazing. So I'll go ahead and get off of here, and I hope you learned something. Now, listen, it's 75 minutes, I think, for pints, and 90 for quarts when you're canning meat. Most of your meats are like that. And don't waver on that. Just be safe. Just be safe and do your 90 minutes for your quarts, or your 75 for your pints. But that's the times I go by all the time. And make sure you wipe your rims, Make sure you let these sit out for 24 hours. Make sure they're sealed before you put them on the shelf. I always take the lids off, or the rings off. I'm sorry. I always take the rings off and wash my jars up real good. Make sure they're sealed, then put them on the shelf. And that's it. Then you got some good meat for the shelf for the winter, up until the next time you need some more. All right. So I'll get off here, and I love y'all. And Lord willing, I'll catch you on the next video.